Hello, everyone. Welcome to Clarity Tarot. Thank you guys so much for being here. Thank you guys so much for watching. So this live reading is going to be all about the full moon in Pisces that is literally happening right now as we are going live. So I'm going to be discussing the full moon energies, what I think this is bringing, good and bad. I'm also going to be talking a little bit about the astrology of this full moon, as well as pulling cards for all of the 12 signs. So if you're interested in that, go ahead, stay tuned, and keep watching. As I am live, I am going to just kind of take my time and allow people to get here and come in. So as you're coming in, go ahead and leave your name, where you're from, and your signs in the comment box over there. Give the video a thumbs up so that way this video circulates around to more people. And if you want to be notified of when I go live again, be sure to be subscribed and put your notifications on. So just a little bit of housekeeping things before I start. First thing is that super chats are welcome, but they are not to be used for asking questions. Hey, Jatoya or Nicole. So I appreciate super chats, but they will not be for questions. And I actually more appreciate when you guys use my tip jar, which is on Cash App, because when you super chat, I actually don't get that money. It goes to Google, and then I maybe get it or not. But if you send it through Cash App, then I actually do get it. And I can't refund super chats. So if you send it and I don't answer your question, I can't give you that money back. Okay, so that's just one thing that I want to put out there. But if you want to donate to the channel, then that is always appreciated and really helpful. Okay. The other thing is just participate. That's it. Use this time to really express what's on your mind and, connect, because I feel like that is something that a lot of people are missing at this point in time, is just connection. And that's why I wanted to go live. All right. Okay. So I think that's everything that I wanted to say. How is everyone? How is everyone feeling? This full moon to me it's good because it's the full moon in Pisces, and I really love Pisces, and I think that there's a lot of really good things about it, but it does have kind of like a bit of tension to it, and I'll discuss why. So let me know how you guys are feeling in the comment box below. Like I said, I personally really love when the moon is in Pisces. My Venus is in Pisces, and I feel like during this time, I'm just more connected, in tune, more, just more intuitive and trusting and compassionate and empathetic. And that's just kind of how I like to operate anyway. So I really like this time. But with it being a full moon, something is being illuminated about that. So full moons can be a little bit uncomfortable, a little bit challenging, depending on what's being illuminated. And I'll kind of talk a little bit about what I think that could be for most people. So Nicole says, I've been feeling good also, like an expectation. Yeah. So let's kind of talk about the full moon itself. I wanted to spend a little bit of time talking about just kind of like the astrology and like, why are full moons such a big deal? Like, why do we talk about them, and what do they really signify? Before we start, I am going to just grab a piece of paper and a pencil so that way I can write down timestamps. So that way, if you are not watching this live, that you can kind of jump around to the sections that are important to you, or you can come back later and listen to things that are important to you. So I'm going to label the first section astrology. So I actually have been, I've always been into astrology. Like my whole life, I've always loved, hey, William, I've always loved astrology. It's something that I just naturally have gravitated towards. But because of religion, like Christianity, kind of not really accepting that. I've kind of like always done it in secret or in private or just not really told people. But I feel like in more recent years, I just haven't really cared about that because it's just something that I just feel so strongly about. So I am really starting to learn astrology, like not just what I hear online or things like that, like really studying it. So I wanted to take a second to talk about the full moon, what it's about, why it's important, and what I think the implications are for this specific full moon. So the moon cycle, first of all, what is the moon? The moon in astrology represents our emotions, our intuition, and our feelings. So emotions and feelings are a big part of life, right? We have this tangible physical world that we're living in, yes, but we also have this part of us that has desires and motivations to do things, and that is the moon. The moon will tell you kind of what your desires are or how you go about your desires, how you go about expressing your feelings, how you go about expressing your emotions. So everyone has their moon in a different place, right? And for me, I have my moon in Scorpio. So it definitely makes me someone who is really into kind of like occult things, astrology, hidden things, hidden knowledge, hidden wisdom, etc. Very deep emotions, right? So yeah, so that's why I feel like astrology is just kind of something that I'm really, really into right now. But anyhow, the moon cycles on a 28-day cycle, kind of like a woman's menstrual cycle. And as it goes through the cycle, it goes through different phases, right? So it starts off with the new moon, where you can't see the moon in the sky at all, right? It's brand new. And then 14 days from that, it slowly grows, right? It waxes and it becomes full. And that's when you can see the big moon. And the reason why you can see that is because the sun and the moon are opposite of each other, right? So it's like the moon is here and the sun is shining its light on the moon. So it's illuminating or highlighting something about your emotions, right? That maybe you otherwise would not be able to really see or understand because it's more hidden. So that's why the full moon is sometimes called like the crisis point or the peak point or the height or the climax of something, because it really is showing you something in its fullness, in its entirety. Okay. So from the full moon now, the cycle is going to go down. It's going to wax, right? You hear waning, or I'm sorry, it's going to wane. You hear waxing moon, waning moon. So now after the moon is full, it's going to get smaller, okay? It's going to wane away. So this is why the full moon is a good time. When you get that clarity, when you get that illumination, you can take it and you can go, okay, what do I need to change now that I have this information? Now that I know something's been highlighted for me, what do I need to do about it? And it's not about doing it in like an action type of way. That's before the full moon. That's when you're taking action. After the full moon is more of like, how can I change my psyche around this? Like, what do I need to heal within myself in order to make this better for myself the next time this presents itself in my life, the next time it comes around? Okay. So that's just a little bit of a backstory of why we even talk about this and why it's so important. Now, the sign that the full moon is in is going to tell us the quality of the full moon. So the full moon in this time is in Pisces. Okay. And what is Pisces? Pisces is It's the last sign of the zodiac, okay? So it embodies everything that the zodiac has to offer. The previous 11 signs, it all culminates in Pisces. So Pisces is like everything, but it's also nothing at the same time. It's the truth and the unknown. It's a bunch of, you know, what do they call that? Like contradictions, right? It's like, it's the subconscious, it's the hidden and the unknown. But the thing about Pisces is Pisces doesn't fight that. Like maybe like Scorpio is also a lot about the deep and the hidden and the unknown, but Scorpio is not comfortable with that because Scorpio wants to know the truth. That's why Scorpio can be so intense, because Scorpio wants to know. But Pisces is like, okay, whatever. If I don't know, I don't know. Pisces is more willing to let something go, to just say, okay, I don't understand this, and not get stressed out about it. Pisces is more like, I know there's a bigger reason for this. I don't understand it, but I know there's a bigger reason for this, right? And doesn't really get so anxious or held up or attached, by it. Pisces doesn't get attached. Pisces is represented by the two fish, right? It's going in one direction, then it's going in the other direction for no rhyme or reason. So when you have a full moon in this sign, it's kind of hard to say like, oh, this is exactly what the full moon is going to be about, because Pisces encompasses so many different things. Pisces is the dream, it's the illusion, it's what's hidden, it's in seclusion, it's just wherever it is. So it's really hard in this particular instance to say, yeah, this is what everyone's going through, this is what everyone's feeling, because we all have like something different going on in our subconscious mind. We all have different things that we need to release. We all have different things that are being illuminated to us. So, when I talk about certain things, take it with a grain of salt, right? Follow your own intuition. That's ultimately what Pisces is about. Doing what you know is right, doing what your soul says is true, doing what makes sense to you, even if it makes sense to no one, and not really caring about what anyone else thinks, right? But when we get a full moon in this sign, like I said, the reason why the moon is full is because the sun is opposite where the moon is. So we have to look at where the sun is. So the sun is in Virgo. Okay, so Virgo and Pisces are complete opposite signs. Virgo is about reality. Virgo is about reality. Virgo is about what's here on earth, working, getting up on the day-to-day, serving others, helping others, your physical body, taking care of this physical body. Like Virgo is the earthiest of the earth signs. Pisces to me is the wateriest of the water signs. Virgo is the earthiest of the earth signs. So what I feel this full moon is showing us is the things we need to let go of in our day-to-day life. What you need to let go of in your day-to-day life, where your day-to-day life is not aligning with who your soul really wants to be, right? And I feel like this is a process that's been happening, right? Nothing in astrology happens like just as a singular event. Like things kind of build up and there's cycles and things have been happening for time. But then you get to these points, these crisis points where it really all culminates. And that's what I feel this is I feel like for a while, your day-to-day life maybe has not aligned with who it is you really are in your soul, with what you feel your soul really came to planet Earth to do. And this is where you can look at your day-to-day life and go, okay, what needs to change here in order for me to feel like I'm living more in alignment with my authentic truth, but not in like an Aquarius way. That was like a few weeks ago where we did that. This is more of with what my soul knows is right, with what my soul knows is true. And that's why it's different for everyone. I can't say what your soul is telling you, right? Your soul is telling you what your soul's telling you. But it's about just that. So going back to Virgo, Virgo is about your day-to-day life. So what do I do on the day-to-day? And how is this either adding, contributing, or taking away from, deducting from that like dream, ideal life that I want to live? And the biggest thing that I think is coming up for most people is their job. Obviously, we see that right now in the media, in society. People don't want to work, right? People don't want to work, or people really want their job to be different. They want their job to be more free. They want their job to have more relaxation. They want their job to give them more time and space, right? These are like very like Piscean things. They don't want to be so attached to their work. They don't want to be in the office, like held up. Like people just kind of want to be wherever they want to be. They want to let their souls just roam. And people don't want to live to work. They just want to work so they can live. And so this is an opportunity to go, okay, what can I change in my life that's going to make that more possible for me? Okay. The other part of Pisces and the big part of Pisces is about releasing and letting go. Okay, is releasing and letting go. And again, this is going to take many different forms depending on what's going on in your chart and what's going on in your life. But it's also about releasing and letting go what no longer serves you. And so this could be a job that no longer serves you, or a day-to-day routine that you do that no longer serves you, or a habit that you do that no longer serves you. Or maybe you are maybe you do serve a lot of people in your life and you're letting go of that, because Pisces can also be a little codependent. And so can Virgo. Like Virgo and Pisces, it's like the service line. Like Virgo and Pisces, that access is the service line. And so like it could be a little codependent. And maybe you're going, I'm no longer going to be like serving and taking care of everyone else in my life. I'm going to serve and take care of myself, right? From this point on. It also could have to do with your diet as well, because Virgo is very concerned with our diet, our health, what we're doing. You could maybe be wanting to let go of eating certain foods, or doing a certain behavior that you feel is sabotaging your health goals, or sabotaging your physique in some way. So you also could be doing that. But what the Pisces side is doing is it's helping you to it's helping you to surrender it, right? It's like, I don't have to understand this. I just feel like I don't want to eat meat anymore, right? You don't have to understand it why. You just feel this intuitive download. You feel this soul urge to do this, and you just let it go. You let it go and you release it. And when the moon goes into Aries, you just act on it, right? So that's kind of what this time is. It's like you and your soul and your intuition, you may feel some type of way about something. Like you just feel very, very, very compelled to do something in your life, or to change something in your life, or to let it go. And you're just going to do it. You're just going to do it. And as time moves on, it's like, it's almost as if that thing never existed in your life. So this is a really, really, really powerful time. The full moon in Pisces is always a powerful time, because again, Pisces is the culmination of everything in our life. So we have full moons all the time, every month, right? Where we're releasing and letting go and reflecting and changing. But the full moon in Pisces, it kind of is like the catch-all sign. So if there was something in a past cycle that you didn't release, that you didn't let go, it's like you kind of can go back and fix that thing and heal it and let it go now. Pisces also is about healing. So you could get a healing right now. You could finally understand why something happened, or why you do something, or you know, why something in your life keeps happening. And you can finally, after maybe months or years, release that thing from your life and never think about it again, right? Because you understand the psychological reason why you do that. Pisces has a lot to do with our psyche, right? So our habits that we do on a day to day, the reason we do them is because our mind is programmed to say, okay, this is what I need to do. It's deeply ingrained. Pisces allows you to get into that deep part where things are ingrained and change the code and change things. And so this is a really, 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 really powerful time to do some deep psychological healing. That way you can let go of things that do not work. Okay. So very, very, very powerful time. Now, like I said, the energy of the full moon, it takes 14 days for it to go back to where it started. Okay, so this psychological healing, this letting go, this releasing, this surrendering, this is going to happen over the next 14 days, right? So you may already be feeling this because you can start to feel it a few weeks or days before, and you may feel it for a few weeks after. So don't be surprised if in 2 weeks you feel like a brand new person. If you finally have solved some sort of problem that you've been having, or you finally understand something, like that's the type of stuff that can happen right now. So use this energy to your advantage. Use this energy to really heal yourself, to help yourself. Just to give one example, I give examples just to make this information more real. Otherwise, it's just kind of like, whatever. For example, myself, I've been having a lot of foot pain lately. Now, I'm a nurse, so obviously I walk around on my feet, and that's just what makes sense to me. Like, oh, I'm walking too much, right? But guess what body part Pisces rules? The feet. And I've been having a lot of foot pain, just randomly pop up recently. So today, I finally went, let me look deeper into this. Let me try to understand what foot pain represents, because everything that we feel physically, there's a psychological reason why we feel these things. So I'm like, let me look up what the deeper meaning of foot pain means. And so I looked it up, and it said that foot pain can signify, like, what are our feet? Our feet are our foundation that we stand on, right? So if you're having foot pain, you may be straining your foundation. You may be trying to move too fast to do something or to make something happen, and I really had to sit back and analyze and go, okay, let me really think about how this might be true. And as I was doing that, I went ahead and made myself a little foot soak to just kind of detoxify my feet. And I also put my feet up on the wall and just kind of let any lymph or whatever fluid go back to my heart. And now my feet feel great. But it's those types of things that the full moon in Pisces brings. It'll bring you something that will go, look this up, or go talk to that person. And it seems crazy, like it seems illogical. You're like, that's not going to help. But if you follow it, it does. That's the type of stuff that Pisces does. That's why people think Pisces are crazy, or people think Pisces don't have any sense, because they do things that are illogical. But Pisces is not logical. It's not a logical sign. It's not how it makes its decision. It makes its decision upon its intuition, how it feels, and where spirit tells it to go. Okay, so you may be feeling like, okay, I'm being crazy right now, but you're not being crazy. This is just the energy. Okay. One other thing I want to touch on is the fact of what we have going on in Libra, because a lot of you guys watch my channel for love and relationships, right? And the 7th house, the Libra house, has a lot to do with love and relationships. Mercury is currently in Libra. So what is Mercury? Mercury is about our thoughts and our communication. And it's in Libra, the sign of relationships. And it's about to go retrograde in the sign of relationships. So when a planet goes retrograde, it's causing us to rethink or think again about something. So if you may be thinking again or thinking a lot about your relationships, your romantic relationships, your business relationship, your friendship, your one-on-one relationships in your life, you may be thinking a little differently about that. right now. And you may, I think more than ever, more than any retrograde, this is a retrograde where I think you will see exes come back. You will have exes come back. However, because the moon's in Pisces, this full moon's in Pisces, these exes are going to come back to heal Pisces, the past, so you can release it and let it go. Okay? So if you've been struggling with a relationship or trying to release a relationship, trying to understand a relationship, trying to heal from a relationship, I definitely feel like if it hasn't happened already in the next 2 weeks, you could also be getting a lot of clarity and a lot of insight and a lot of healing about a past relationship. Okay. And this is not just exclusive to romantic relationships, though I do feel that is a large part of this. I feel that it can do with friendships. Nicole says, I hope not. It can do with friendships. Maybe you had a friendship that left your life and you're like, you never really got clarity about it or closure about it. You can maybe have that friend come back, not because people are meant to be back in your life. That's the other thing I want to just do a disclaimer. Not because these people are not coming back to come back into your life. And so that way you can heal the deep psychological issue behind that friendship. So maybe that friendship or that relationship taught you to respect yourself more, right? But maybe there was something that you just kind of didn't fix in the code, and it's coming back for you to just kind of fix that and then release it and let it go and keep moving on. So that can be really helpful because that can help you to now attract better partners and better friendships. You also could hear from a job. Okay, you could hear from like an old job, like an old boss who maybe really liked you, and they could kind of contact you again and see if you'll come back to work for them or something like that. In that scenario, I would say wait until November. Talk about it. You can talk about it, right? But wait until November. The other thing I want to say before I move forward to do the reading is also in Libra, we have Mars, right? So Mars is the planet of war, the planet of aggression, the planet of action. In a sign like Libra, that does not like to be aggressive. That does not, that does not, hold on, y'all. Okay. You also these conversations could be a little bit like aggressive too. They could be a little bit aggressive, or they could be a little bit forceful or uncomfortable in some way, shape, or form. So do be aware of that and just know that it's not personal. It's just the energy. Okay. But yeah, I do feel that once this time passes, you will have a deep, deep, deep understanding as to why you went through these experiences. And it will no longer be like, why did I put myself in this scenario? It'll be like, you'll understand the higher reason, the higher understanding. And it'll be much easier to have peace about the situation for having gotten this clarity or for this person coming back and having the closure conversation. Okay, so that's what I feel there. Is there anything else I want to say about the full moon? Oh, one final thing. The reason I titled this video, the faith to let go and be yourself, is because Pisces, that's what Pisces asks us to do. Pisces says, you did everything, you went through everything. Now it's time to relax, rest, and let go. And not everyone likes to do that. Like, not everyone likes to relax and rest and let go. That can be very uncomfortable for a lot of people. Not everyone likes to take a break. Not everyone likes to take a nap. Like, some people, that makes them feel unproductive or uncomfortable, right? So It's easy to say and can be hard to do. It can be hard to take a break. It can be hard to rest. It can be hard to relax because maybe you have a lot of real problems. Maybe you have a lot of real things going on that you need solved. But Pisces is saying nothing that you do right now is going to change the outcome. You can fight, you can push, you can scream, you can kick, but it's not going to change the inevitable. That's what Pisces tells us. And as I was driving this morning, I was stuck in traffic and I noticed there was a car that was trying to like weave in and out of the lanes, but wasn't getting any farther. You know, when you're driving and there's just that one person that's just trying to like cut everybody off, but it's like, dude, we're stuck in traffic. You can switch lanes. It doesn't matter, but you're not going anywhere. That's what this energy feels like to me. It's like you can flip flop around and you can do all this stuff and you can try and like make all the list and do all this. But Pisces is like, you look crazy. When you try to take too much action during like a Pisces transit, it's like you're going against the flow. You look crazy. It's like being a fish out of water. Pisces wants you to just go with the flow. So this is encouragement for you guys. If you feel guilty about taking a rest or you feel like you can't rest or you have so many problems, know that nothing will be solved. And the only way to solve things is to release them, to take them off your chest, to take them off your shoulder and to give them away. That will heal you more. That will solve the problem more. Because when you're in a rested and relaxed state, you're more apt to get insights and downloads. That's why Pisces also rules vacations, trips, hotels, hospitals, isolation, because when you're in those types of places, it's like that's when God's spirit, source, universe can really talk to you because you're turned off. You're not tuned in to the outside world. You're more in on the spiritual side and you can hear more. So it's like you just need to turn off so you can hear more. Okay. Maybe you can't rest. Maybe you can't relax. Maybe you have a lot of responsibilities. Find a way to do your responsibilities with more ease, with more relaxation. Pisces is a very feminine sign. To me, Pisces is one of the most feminine signs because it's the most trusting, it's the most intuitive, it's the most go with the flow. It's just, it is what it is and it doesn't fight. And if there's a way you can go about your day-to-day life with more ease, with more flow, with more patience for people, for yourself, with more compassion, with more understanding, being more giving, being more charitable, try it. Try it. Being more forceful and, driven and all of that right now is not really going to help. It's not going to help. It doesn't help anyone at a time like this. So if you can't rest and relax and turn off and disconnect, try and be more Piscean-like and see if you get a different result, right? If you've been doing something and it hasn't been working anyways, give rest a try. What do you have to lose, right? What do you have to lose at this point? Okay. So that's a little bit about the astrology. Does anyone have any questions before I move on to the tarot reading? Okay, so I'm going to write the timestamp down for tarot. All right, so as with all of my videos, I always go through the Moonology deck and I pull out the cards for the moon. So the first one I pulled out is the full moon card, which is surrendered to the divine. And that's the biggest thing right now. Wherever you're at in your life, whatever challenge you're going through, whatever you are currently facing in your life, You have to get to a point where you just understand that this is your life. And that's kind of what the Virgo side of this full moon tells us. It's the reality. It's like, okay, you may not like this aspect of your life, right? You may be living in a dream or a fantasy in this aspect of your life. But just surrender. Just surrender to what life is showing you. If life is showing you something more negative right now, then it's more negative. If life is more challenging right now, then that's what it is. Like Pisces doesn't promise to be nice. Like Pisces is anything. It could be good, bad, ugly. It could be the dream or the nightmare. So like you could be in a challenging time of life right now, and that's just what it is. And you just have to trust that you're going through that scenario for a reason, that you're going through this situation for a reason. And you will understand it later. You will understand it with time, why you're going through that particular scenario. The full moon in Pisces card itself says balance, spirituality, and practicality. So again, we see that theme of, Virgo and Pisces, the absolute truth realist, and Pisces, the watery intuitive dreamer. This full moon is saying to balance both of those parts of yourself. It's not saying to let go of one or that one's better than the other, but it's saying how can you incorporate more of both into your life, okay? All right, so let's pull an animal spirit card and let's see what the most important message is. The animal spirit card for me, it just gives like the big overall feeling of the moon, or of this moon cycle, this moon phase. All right. So we have the deer and the octopus, and I am going to read from the guidebook here. All right, so deer. I love this already. It says loving, intuitive, graceful, the mother, which I think really embodies a lot of Pisces. So it says the deer represents the feminine aspects of earth energy. This energy is available to all creatures regardless of gender, but is especially potent in new parents. During the first few days, they are fully present, nurturing, and calm. Their inner beauty radiates, and a sense of grace calms the room. A deer personality affects others in this way, drawing them towards a quiet tenderness. The deer card may appear when a birth or a celebration of a new life draws near, or when a situation calls for absolute gentleness and compassion. So when this energy is in balance, it is receptive, it is compassionate, and it is nurturing. When it is out of balance, it is concerned and protective. And to bring it into balance, go out to nature and bring around children. So I really feel like this really, really, really embodies the energy that we should try to carry with us during this time. Just having love and understanding and compassion for all, I think is massive right now. And it doesn't have to be in a huge, big way. It can be very, very subtle, but it's kind of just understanding that everyone has an inner child within them that needs to be loved, that needs nurturing, that needs compassion. And even someone who is maybe not as pleasant to be around, like that person, they still need love and compassion, right? They still need that. So I definitely think that this energy is perfect for this time and perfectly describes this full moon. All right, let's look at the octopus. This says reaching, yearning, lacking boundaries and direction. The octopus signifies a wonderfully perceptive mind paired with a lack of healthy boundaries. Unfortunately, this results in well intended but messy relationships. The octopus entwines itself into others people's business and shares their own without restraint. But they believe that it's what it means to be close. If you notice after spending time with someone you feel drained or uneasy, the essence of the octopus is at play. Begin to establish healthy boundaries. Be patient and firm. It may be it may be a very old habit to change. So yes, this talks about some of the lower parts of Pisces and Virgo. As I said previously, Pisces and Virgo can be a little bit codependent, especially Pisces, because Pisces is a dreamer and sometimes are not in reality. Virgo then feels like that they need to protect the Pisces. They need to save the Pisces. They need to make sure that the Pisces doesn't hurt themselves or walk off, a cliff. Virgo feels like they need to be there to make sure that Pisces, nothing happens to them. So it can become a very codependent relationship where they can't function without each other, right? They both do different things for each other. The Pisces gives the Virgo something to do, someone to serve, someone to care for. And the Virgo gives the Pisces this sense of reality, this kind of tether to the real world, which is fine, but they have to develop those things on their own, right? The Pisces has to learn how to be more practical, and the Virgo has to learn how to serve people with boundaries. Okay, so I feel like that's what this octopus card is saying, and it did talk about old habits. And as I discussed, Virgo can be very habitual. It can get into like a routine and a pattern and just keep doing the same thing over and over and over again and not really analyze if what it's doing is really helpful, if it's really, really, really serving the other person and for the person's highest good, or if it's just kind of meeting their needs. So that's definitely something that needs to be evaluated here, especially with that relationship components that I talked about. Because Libra is another sign where Mercury is that can be a little codependent themselves, right? So we have a lot of like codependency kind of issues going on here. And just to be clear about what codependency is just feeling like you need to do something, like as if you're the only person that can do something for someone. You do it the best way. No one else can do it the way you do it, and feeling like you need to overgive in order to serve. And that's what defines your value, right? So that's one of the big relationship things that I think really needs to be evaluated and let go right now is why do you feel the need to overgive? Why do you overgive? Why do you overserve? Why do you try so hard to prove your value, to prove your worth? Why do you do that? And at the core of codependency, it normally is a lack of self-worth, not knowing how valuable you are, not knowing how you're perfect just the way you are and that you don't need validation from other people, right? That need for validation, which is very normal, right? It's very normal for us as humans to want love and care and validation, but it's something that as you become an adult, you need to be able to give yourself, right? You need to be able to learn how to give yourself. As children, of course, you give children all the love, all the validation, all the attention that they need. But as they grow up and get older, you start cutting it off, right? So that way they can learn how to develop that on their own. And oftentimes what happens? We get into bad relationships where we're seeking for that love and care and validation that we may or may not have received from our parents. We start seeking for that in our romantic relationships, in our friendships, in our coworkers, in our bosses. And there comes a point in time where you have to go, okay, it's time for me to grow up and be an adult and to give myself my own validation and pat my own self on the back and give my own self a hug and love myself and take care of myself because I'm valuable, right? So that could come from, again, the deep psyche. Your want of that validation comes from deep down inside, either never getting that validation from your parents, never getting that validation from your the people who raised you in your upbringing and trying to overcompensate for that or seek for that, okay? Or it's kind of you had it at one point and you lost it and now you're looking for it. This is an excellent time to release that need. And when you do that, right? When you release that need for validation from other people, that's going to change the way you show up in life. Because maybe you've been at the job you've been at to get validation. Because you can be codependent in your job. You see what I mean? So that's how life-changing this could be. You could be doing something right now because you're really looking for validation. That's what you're really looking for. You really want validation. You really are looking for love, or you're really looking for something. And once you figure out that you're doing that, you may not want to do that thing anymore. Once you realize how codependent you are on someone, you might say, whoa, I don't want to be codependent on that person anymore. And you may slowly start changing your life and changing your mind. And therefore, someone who maybe you're so attached to, you don't even want anymore. Because you realize, I didn't want that person because I wanted them or because I love them. I wanted them because I wanted them to want me. I wanted them to love me. I wanted them to need me. And when you no longer have that, you don't want the same people, right? I just saw something today that says when you level up, your taste changes. Your taste changes, right? The things that you want to eat and consume, you don't want to eat and consume the same things when you level up. The same thing with people, right? You don't want to be around certain energies or people when you level up. So that's what like the deep layer is to this full moon. Okay. So Nicole says, that's true. That's a Virgo. I have a good Virgo friend and she's exactly like that. Yeah. Virgos are the servants of the zodiac. So they are born to serve. Their whole self-worth and their whole identity is in serving other people. So like Virgo is representative of like the doctor, like doctors and nurses and caregivers and things like that are all under Virgo. And it's like when those people are not caring, like they're like, what am I doing? You know, what am I doing? They always need something to care for, whether that's a child or a dog or a friend. You know, they need to feel in need. But what they have to grow to learn is like they need to like take care of themselves, right? Like they need to serve themselves ultimately. Like that's what it comes back down to. Like you got to serve yourself. So yeah, but that is Virgo energy for you. All right. Let's pull a little bit of tarot. Yeah. All right. Let's see what we need to know. Let's just see. I'm just going to let the messages come through. I'm not going to try and control this or do like a certain spread. I'm just going to let the messages flow through as they feel they need to flow through. Okay. Okay. So we have the Moon card. Okay. And we have the Four of Cups. So especially tonight, but over the next couple of weeks, you know, you may not want to really hang out with anybody. You may not really want to, be all out there. You may not want to you may just feel better being in your own company. Again, Pisces is about isolation. But it's not isolation to torture yourself. It's isolation to get deep understanding and get deep healing. That's what the moon card is for me. It's about the deep, deep, dark healing work that happens when nobody's around. And so is the Four of Cups. It's like really processing those emotions that you go through that other people don't even know you go through, and really confronting them and dealing with them and healing them and releasing them. And that's not something that you're going to be able to do in the company of other people, right? Like, you can't do that with other people. That's something that you have to do by yourself. This is a time to do that inner work. Okay, to do that inner work in whichever area it's coming up for you. There's no right or wrong, area to do this in. It's just where this is being highlighted in your chart. Nice first card out is the card of Pisces on the full moon. Exactly. So don't be afraid to distance yourself. You may notice maybe people are being more quiet, more reserved, more distant, more aloof. This is what it is. People are really going to be processing things. The Hermit. Can't make this up, right? God's definitely here tonight, boy, because the Hermit. Yeah. So don't be afraid to be this person, be understanding of people who are acting like this in your life. You have the Daughter of Swords. Virgo also has an energy of being very critical, right? Virgo can be very critical. Virgo is looking for flaws because they want to fix the flaw, right? So you could be very critical of yourself or of relationships or of certain things, kind of looking for the flaws in things. But it's because you're like, listen, if I'm here and I have to do this deep healing work, let me just heal everything so I don't have to sit here any longer, right? So yeah, I just feel like it's going to take time. But with this Four of Wands coming out, I also feel like you will be so much better for having done this work than not. So that's why I'm saying, like, if you can take some time off, if you can take a break, if you can relax, if that's something you have the ability to do, this is a great time to do it. Not that this time is going to be super, pleasureful. Definitely don't see that. But I see it just being more restorative, more mentally and psychologically restorative. So that way you can show up better in the world. You can show up more of how you want to show up, and feeling better about yourself and feeling better about what you're doing. So, you might have to cancel plans. You might have to, not talk to people, but you will be better for doing this over the next couple of weeks than for not, right? Sometimes you have to pull away and take 2 steps back to go 10 steps forward. Okay. And that's what I'm feeling. Okay. Is there anything else I want to say about this moon? Does anyone have any like general questions about the moon or anything? I guess just to wrap it up before I go into the sign specific readings is not to be grim, but Venus is in Scorpio right now. So, we all come to this earth for a reason. We all come here alone and we're going to leave alone. And Pisces is about the alone. There's, even when you're in a relationship, even when you have a friend, right? there are still going to be specific aspects of yourself that no one can ever know about you, right? Or it would take someone a long, 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 long time to really know and understand certain things about you. And so there needs to be times in your life where you're just by yourself, where you take that time away, where you take that sabbatical from everything to really just get right with you. And that's what I feel this time is. It's getting right with yourself on like the deepest psychological, spiritual, soul level. And the full moon is not a time to take action. It's just a time to get awareness, right? You see it. Action will come later, but in order for you to take action later, you need to be fully aware of what the problem is. And so coming into contact with that might be distressing, which is why the full moon can be challenging. People go crazy on the full moon, might be distressing, but it's better to face your issues or your problems head on than to ignore them, than to let them fester, than to just sweep things under the rug and to not deal with them, right? Use this time to deal with yourself. And to surrender to whatever situation you're in. Good, bad, or ugly in some way, shape, or form, your soul wants to go through this, or God, universe, spirit wants you to experience this because maybe it's going to benefit you later. Maybe down the line, this exact challenge you're going through right now was actually the preparation or the setup for a blessing that you have down the line. But you're not going to know that. And it's being okay with not knowing. It's being okay with not knowing what's going to happen and just trusting that your life is unfolding for you the way it's supposed to be unfolding and not fighting that. Though you may want to. I'm not claiming this time's going to be easy. You may want to fight. You may want to, something to happen, but you got to take a step back and reevaluate your own boundaries and reevaluate your own life right now. So that way, 2 weeks from now at the new moon, which I think is in Aries, don't quote me, at the next new moon, you can start making changes, okay? But you have to be clear about what the problem is, be aware about what the problem is, and go from there, okay? All right, let's get into the reading for all of the 12 signs, shall we? Shall we? So I think for all of the 12 signs, I'm going to pull a tarot card, a general tarot card. I'm going to pull a love card and an advice card. So I'm just going to shuffle my decks. And I'm just going to pull off the top one for each. Okay. Okay. All right. So, of course, starting with Aries. So before I start, you want to watch your sun, moon, and rising sign. I personally resonate best with my rising sign of Aries, but your sun sign is going to give you more of like a like you're going to feel your sun sign the most. So you're going to be like, yeah, that makes sense for me. Your rising sign is kind of more like your tangible, real daily life. And your moon sign is going to be more of that psychological, spiritual, emotional side of yourself. So if you watch all three, you'll have a good picture. And if you don't know what your sun, moon, and rising are, just go to Google, type in sun, moon, rising calculator or something like that, and you'll figure that out. All right. So let's start with Aries. All right, so Aries, your general card for the full moon. Look at that. We have the Mother of Pentacles. So Aries, I feel like what you need to know right now is you are being prepped and prepared in your life to be someone who can really take care of other people, who can really take care of other people. This is the same deer that we got in the overall. And I feel for you, Aries, you know, you're the number one sign that wants to rush around and do stuff. Like you're the number one sign that wants to initiate, start things, begin things, move things. Like you are the most cardinal of the cardinal signs. And when life slows an Aries down, there's nothing more frustrating. There's nothing more frustrating. And when our sign Aries is in a planet it doesn't like to be in, it's, oh, let me actually put in the chat so people know what sign we're on. Oh my God, if I could spell Aries. Okay. When Mars, our ruling planet, is in a sign it doesn't like to be in, it makes things so frustrating. So frustrating. And right now with Mars being in Libra, a place where it does not like to be at all, do you know, Aries, that what Aries has to know about themselves is how intimidating you can be. You need to know that, okay? In your soul, you know you mean well. Aries also, at the same discussion, has the biggest heart. Aries is the baby of the zodiac. Aries loves everyone. Aries just wants things to go faster, okay? I love you, but let's do this fast, okay? So when your energy is in a sign like Libra, that's like, let's think about it. Let's talk about it. Let's see what makes sense for everyone. Let's balance everything out. You're like, no, this is what we need to do. Boom. So know that when you're communicating with people and you're so direct and you're so forward and you're so confident and you know what you want, just know, I'm not saying change, but just know that that energy can be difficult for people to work with or to respond to or to understand, or may come off as rude or impulsive or like harsh, right? This is just for your FYI. Because you know your intention. You know your intention is true. You know your intention is genuine. And other people know that too. That's the thing. Other people know your intention is genuine. Other people know your intention is real. But what I feel this full moon is trying to teach you is how to love people the way they need to be loved, how to work with people the way they want to work, or finding a balance between your energy and their energy. And in the slowdown, in the frustrating times, this is where you learn the most. We learn the most when we're challenged. When we're challenged and we're forced to grow or change, that's when you're going to learn. And that's what this next 2 weeks is kind of trying to show you, is like where you have to like learn how to really care for people. But the thing is, what you're going through now, you're going to learn how to care for people at the highest level. Like you're going to be like the best provider, not just in the material way, as this card indicates, caring for people in a material way, you're also going to be able to know how to nurture people, how to really nurture people in the way that they need nurturing. Okay? So know that any challenges, frustrations, slowdowns, delays, arguments, disputes that you come into in the next couple of weeks, these are your opportunities for growth. These are your opportunities for growth, okay? And there may be certain things that you have to give up to get this growth, right? You may have to give up some of your independence. You may have to give up some of your time. You may have to give up some of your individuality, because Aries wants to be individual. Aries wants to go. Aries wants no baggage. Aries like, let's go, right? So you may have to give up a little bit of that. You may have to turn the pace down, not off, but just down, so other people can keep up with you. Because other people can't keep up with you. They can't keep up. They're too far ahead. So I'm not even going to try because they're so far ahead. And that's frustrating. Trust me, I know. That's frustrating. But life is not a one-man show, right? You need a tribe, you need a team, you need people to do certain things in your life that you can't do yourself, to see blind spots that you can't see. There are other people that have more expertise over you, which you don't like, right? You don't like knowing other people have more expertise over you because you'd like to be in charge and the leader of your life. But there are people who do know certain things more than you, who do have more experience than you. And you have to be patient and let people teach you things, let people show you things, let people give you some information, some tips, which is going to feel frustrating in the moment to hear. You're not going to like to hear what people have to say, but it will set you up later. Later down the line, there's going to be a moment where you're like, oh, I see what they were talking about now. I see why they were saying that. But you have to be patient. You have to give people the chance to teach you what they want to teach you, because the divine spirit universe has strategically placed these people in front of you to teach you things. So you have to let them teach you, right? So, but know that these people might be more slow than you. They might be more like, not as quick. So if you find yourself getting into like issues or challenges or arguments with people, what you can do, I'm not saying that the other party's not doing anything wrong. I'm not saying that either. But what you can do is you can just go, okay, what? Say what? Okay, tell me. And just slow yourself down a bit, okay? And that's a trait and a characteristic that will serve you. That will serve you. Let's look at love. Love, you have the 9 of Cups, okay? So it looks like during this time, you're pretty content with your relationship status, whatever that may be, whether you're single, whether you're dating, whether you're married. It looks like you're pretty content with where you're at. You're pretty content with what's going on, with whatever the situation is, okay? It feels to me that you have way more going on in the work front of your life than you do in the relationship front of your life. But love to me seems fine. It's really weird. This is really weird, but I see some of you guys picking up a new hobby. A hobby that requires you to be patient. But I see you falling in love with the hobby. Like This hobby teaches you a lot of things. It teaches you about trusting the process and taking your time. Yeah, I just see you so much more focused on something, work or doing something or being out in nature or painting or something. I'm just seeing you being way more content with that. But that also might be a hobby that a significant other also has. So you may pick up a hobby. Maybe you pick up, I don't know, what's a hobby? Skateboarding. That's the first thing I can think about. But maybe you have a partner that also does skateboarding, or maybe you meet someone when you're skateboarding or something like that, and that's something that bonds you. Okay, so yeah, you might actually be getting a teacher to help you to learn something. So let's say you want to get into skateboarding, right? And you may get a teacher who can teach you how to do that, but you have to be patient and let that teacher teach you. So the message is starting to come together more. But that patience is going to help you later, right? That patience is going to help you later because you're going to learn this thing, you're going to learn this skill, and then you and a romantic partner you'll have this shared bond for the rest of your life because you've taken the time to learn this specific thing. So yeah, that could be a very specific message, but that's what I feel for you. So it's like your love life is improving through a kind of like sideways way, but you're happy. Like overall, I see you being very happy with your love life, whatever the conditions of it are over the next couple of weeks. Let's get your Moonology card. We have communication is key. Yes. This is big for you. This I feel is very, very, very big for you during this time. Like communication is very key. Again, we have Mercury in Libra. That's your descendant. It's like your blind spot in your chart. So that's not your forte. You know, Aries would rather be by themselves doing their own thing, you know, getting things done. It's not really one that wants to pull people around and ask everyone's opinion and do all like, but right now it is what you have to do. It sucks, but it's what you have to do. So you have to learn how to communicate your point, communicate your thoughts in a way that people can comprehend, people can understand. You have to give them time to think about it. They're not going to be able to shoot an answer back at you the same way you could spit fire. Other people can't do that. Other people can't do that. And you have to just go, okay, I'm just going to walk away. I'm just going to give this person time. I'm going to go do something. I'm going to go do my hobby while they take 100 years to think about something. I'm going to go paint some buckets or something, you know. You just have to find a way to keep yourself calm because if you let yourself get to 100, you're going to blow up and you're going to ruin whatever it is you're trying to build or create. So say your piece, communicate, get what you want to say across, right? It's not saying hold back. It's just saying don't be so forceful about it and don't expect people to shoot back just as quickly as you can shoot things out. Because that's what makes you intimidating to other people. They're like, damn, this person's so confident. They're such a sharp shooter. They're so direct. They know what they want. And that makes people feel bad. When they're not that way, they feel bad that they're not as confident. They feel bad that they're not as, you know, like good as you know. And that's not what you want to do. You don't want to make people feel bad about themselves. So that's just a truth about yourself that you always have to keep in mind and you always have to stay humble and patient. Okay. All right, Aries. That was my message for you. All right. So I hope that helped you. I hope it gave you lots of clarity, lots of insight. Make sure you check out the website. After Mercury retrograde, I am going to be raising my prices. So if you want to book in now's a good time. All right. So take care, Aries, and let's do Taurus. All right, so Taurus, your card, we have the Mother of Swords. Okay, so this full moon for you, Taurus, mm, 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 mm. I feel like there's something that you really have that's been on your chest for a long time. Something that you have held really close to your heart. Something that I feel like has kind of made you a little bit angry, a little bit bitter, a little bit icy, jaded, has caused you to shut down and close off and not give people a chance. I feel like this new moon is really asking you to confront that. Is really asking you to confront why you're holding on to this thing. Shoot, I forgot to put in the chat. There we go. Um, this woman is really asking you to confront why you're holding on to this and to really ask yourself why yeah, like I'm getting you know that phrase they say when you hold on to anger and bitterness, it's like poisoning yourself. That's what I'm feeling for you. There's something that you're holding on to that it's poisoning yourself, right? Not to say that other person or that situation or whatever doesn't feel any remorse or doesn't feel any guilt or shame or anger either, but I feel like you are the one who is maybe still wanting that person to pay for it in a sense. Like you're still want it's like you want it's like you're carrying around this guilt, this anger, this shame, this frustration, and it's like completely masking everything. It's like all you see is red. And when anyone sees you, all they see is that. All they see is that built up anger, frustration. It's like, do you really want to be seen that way? Do you really want to be seen as someone who's angry, bitter, jaded? Like, I feel like you really have to analyze what are you angry? What are you mad about and why? And this is a great time to let it go and to really change the way that you are perceived by other people because Taurus in general can be perceived as like kind of intimidating, not the way that Aries is more intimidating because of how like fast and quick and erratic and impulsive they can be. Taurus is more intimidating because people know that you're not going to budge. You're very stubborn. So it's like, why are you being so stubborn about this? And is it worth being this way? Is it worth being perceived as that type of person? Is that situation worth, it affecting you the way that you're viewed? That's something only you can answer, but this is a great time for you to change that, to fix that, and to come off as the other side of Taurus, which is very nurturing, very nurturing. Taurus is ruled by Venus. So Taurus can be very nurturing, very beautiful, very just like goddess like. So Taurus on the other aspect of that, when it's not being stubborn and angry, it can be very gorgeous. And so you have to think, how do you want to be perceived? What side of your Taurian energy do you want to exhibit? Okay. Yeah, you could definitely have exes coming back, Taurus, to solve some deep held issues. or getting clarity or getting illumination about something for sure. Let's look at your love card. Six of Coins, yeah. I see things coming into greater balance. I feel like for you, again, because you are Venus ruled, so you do enjoy balance as well, Taurus. So I feel like some love relationship in your life has been unbalanced, and it's time to bring this scenario into balance. Or if you are a Taurus that maybe gives a lot, it's time for you to rein that in, to rein that in. Because yeah, with the Mother of Swords, I feel like there was a scenario, could be romantic, could be friendship, business, whatever, where you were giving way too much. You were over giving. You were over. What's the word? Like you expected way too much from something or someone that disappointed you, and that's what you're mad about. You're mad about. I feel like you're more mad about the fact that you gave more of your resources than the other person. Time, money, effort. And it's like now you need to do relationships in a way where you're approaching them in a more balanced way. Because Taurus can be very generous too. Taurus can be very generous. And Taurus can give a lot and give good things, right? Give good things, good quality things. And it's like there's nothing wrong with that, Taurus. There's nothing wrong with giving good quality things and love and affection and care. There's nothing wrong with that. But it's about making sure that you have partners who are also giving just as much as you are. Because I feel like right now you don't want to give, you don't want to open your heart because you're still bitter about something that happened. And it's time for you to let it go now because you're holding yourself back from experiencing love at its highest expression. There's someone in your life. Maybe you have a new partner that's not the old partner. Maybe you have a new partner and you're not giving your 100% to that partner because you're still kind of bitter about the past. And maybe your partner is giving more to you, right? So it's like a role flip. So I feel like that's something that really needs to be evaluated at this time. We have take time out to breathe as your card, so very straightforward card, right? Very straightforward card. Really take that time out to really think about that. And for Taurus, I feel like you really have to like break down layers to get to that place. Like it feels like you have like layers of armor over your heart. So it feels like you really do need that time to get deep and to work down into that heart space before you can really get to the healing. Yeah. Yeah. But I feel like in 2 weeks, Taurus, you will be better for having gone through this. Okay. So that's what I have for you, Taurus. Okay. Hope this helped. And be sure to check out my website. I will be raising my prices in a few weeks. So this is a great time to get a reading with me. All right. So take care. I'll see you guys in the next video. All right. So Gemini, your overall energy, we have the Sun of Swords. Okay. Sun of Swords. So I feel like for you, there's really something that you're trying to figure out right now. Like, oh my God, okay? I feel like you are so determined to make something work. You're so determined to make something happen in your life right now. And if you didn't watch the tarot or the astrology portion of this reading, be sure to watch that because you need to hear it. I feel like you are trying to get something done in your life. You're trying to figure something out. You're trying to understand something. You're going down a rabbit hole. You are trying to like get some sort of information on something. And the full moon is saying, relax, relax, okay, relax. If you feel stressed out right now, it's because you're doing too much. You should feel at peace. Like you should feel at peace. You should feel easy right now. And if you don't feel that way, it's because you're overthinking. You're overthinking. And the answers are not going to come from doing a bunch of stuff. The answers are going to come from relaxing, from resting. Okay. Your love energy, we have the Chariot card here. So this could definitely have to do with love. I feel like you might be trying to figure out or understand a connection. You could be trying to do some like family healing right now. You could be trying to do some inner work or inner child healing right now. And I know this is hard for you, but you have to be more passive in your pursuits at this time. Gemini is very active and is always going, always doing things and always figuring out and always solving things. But it's like right now you have to have a more passive, laid back approach to go forward. I feel like you know what you want, Gemini. You know what you want. Shoot, I forgot to put it in the comments again. You know what you want, but sometimes the best way to get what we want is just to do nothing. And that's what this full moon is saying, that everything is fine. There's nothing you need to worry about. There's nothing you need to do. There's nothing you need to figure out. There's no amount of research you could do that's going to get you ahead further, right? Like you're not going to get, and nothing's going to go any faster just because you have information, right? Like sometimes Gemini thinks if I have the information, then I can do more. It's like, no. Having the information is just going to cause your mind to go, but what about this? But what about that? But maybe this. And it's like, at a point, you have to cut yourself off. You have to just cut yourself off and go, nope. I'm taking a mental vacation. This would be a great time for Geminis to do a digital detox. It'd be a great time for Geminis to do a digital detox. It'd be a great time for Geminis to just step away or walk away from whatever they're doing and to take a rest and to go and get creativity, to go and get inspired, to go and get recharged up and get ready to go again. Yeah, you could be trying to make something happen in your relationships and your love life, and it's like the more you push it, the more you're going to push it away. The more you push it, the more you're going to push it away. Because the energy is just not moving in that direction. Let's see what your card is. You are good enough. Yeah. I don't know what you're trying to push here. I don't know what you're trying to move forward on. I don't know why. But you have nothing to prove. You have nothing to prove. You have nothing that you need to do. Like you have nothing. You are enough just as you are. You know, there's nothing more you need to gain. You don't need any more knowledge or wisdom or, you know, you're ready. You're ready for whatever's coming because I know you want something and I know you know what you want and you're ready for it. You don't need any more preparation. Because I feel like you're like striving to prepare or you want to get far ahead. You want to get ahead of the problem. You're like, if this is going to be a problem, let me get 10 steps ahead. But that's not going to do anything but stress you out. And you don't know what you don't know. you don't know what you don't know, and you're going to learn along the you're going to learn along the journey. You know, you can't prepare for whatever it is you're about to go through. Some of you guys could be about to have a kid or something, and it's like you can't prepare for that. Like you can't prepare for that. Like you will learn as you go, and you will make mistakes, and you will figure it out, and you will get better as you go along. Like that's just the way it's going to happen. So you don't need to try to figure it out, to get ahead, to be prepared. It's like, what do you there's nothing you could do. All right, so that's what I have for Gemini, okay? You guys are going to be just fine. Okay. Cancer. All right, Cancer. Mother of Cups. This is your energy. I think the full moons are obviously easier for fellow water signs are going to have easier times with another water sign. So I think this is a time for you where you're really allowing yourself that time to nurture yourself, to care for yourself, okay? I feel you being very patient with yourself. I feel you being very nurturing to yourself, mothering yourself. Yeah. I don't have a lot to say on this, Cancer, if I'm completely honest with you. I feel like you know exactly what to do here. I feel like you know exactly what to do here, you know. Um, yeah, like I literally am like, I just want to take a nap. You may want to take a lot of naps. You may be very tired. Because I know cancers get very tired. Cancers get very tired. Um, so it may be a good time for you guys to take a nap and to not feel bad about it. Sometimes you guys don't want to sleep, but I feel like you need to sleep. You need to charge up. You need to rest up. Um, I feel like cancers. The reason why I feel like cancers are going to do really well with this energy is because, not to be like you guys are crybabies, but Cancer does cry a lot. And crying releases pain, it releases tension, it releases anxiety, it releases worry, right? It's those stored emotions. I feel like you guys are regularly releasing. So I feel like at this time, I don't feel like you're holding on to a lot. And I feel like you don't have a lot that you really need to get off your chest. I don't feel like you guys have a ton of weight at this point in time. I just feel like you guys need to sleep. And that's one thing I didn't mention in the tarot and astrology part, but Pisces has to do with sleep. Like Pisces are notorious for taking a lot of naps. And I feel like this is a time for you guys to take a lot of naps. So if you guys feel tired over the next couple of weeks, like just take a nap. Like don't even try to fight through it. Like just sleep. Just relax. I think that's one of the best ways that you can take care of yourself at this time. Great time for you guys to take a vacation, take a rest, take a break. And look at that. And you guys have the moon. Okay, this is your ruling planet. So yeah, I feel like for you guys, you guys already know how to surrender. You guys know how to not, fight the flow. And I think that the next couple of weeks for you guys is just going to be you really being in your element and you just doing your thing, doing the thing you normally do. You might just be more tired. You might be slightly more reflective. You might have a bit of releasing to do, and that may take some energy out of you. But I see you guys being pretty okay. You definitely may have some relationship stuff. Some deep relationship stuff. But what I want to say to Cancer is your deep relationship stuff is way more psychological than anything. It's not about the person, right? It has nothing to do with your current relationship partner or a past relationship partner. It's more about the way you were raised as a child, what you observed as a child, what you experienced as a child. That's what's causing you more distress. The person that you have the problem with, they are just a result of your psyche. So you need to go back to the source of the problem and you need to deal with that. And that's deeper. And I feel like you already have the the toolkit or the manual to do this work. So yeah, again, I'm not really worried too much about you guys. I'm not really worried too much about you guys. Then we have nothing yet is set in stone. Okay. So, which I don't feel like you do anyways, but I feel like it's important for you guys to know that, well, yeah, I do. Let me take that back. What I feel this card is saying is don't make any hardcore plans. Again, Mercury is going retrograde in Libra, wherever it's happening in your chart, for a little while. Okay, so one area or one thing that I do see distressing a Cancer right now is thinking that you can have everything figured out and make a plan and that it's going to all work out the way that you think it's going to work out. That is something that I can see you causing distress. So if you're like a Cancer planning a wedding right now, don't get too dead set or don't get your heart invested in things being a certain way or like in a certain dress or a certain venue. Like that might fall through. And I don't want you to get sad. Like, go ahead, make plans, do things, but don't get so invested in things. Like, if you can hold off until November to kind of start doing things, that might work out better for you, but don't stress yourself out if things aren't going to plan or if things fall through. Because I feel like sometimes Cancer, you can feel like everything's together and then one variable falls through and you feel like, oh my God, everything's ruined. And I don't want you to get like that. Like, just stay light, don't get attached, and yeah, just don't get attached to things being like any certain type of way. Okay. But otherwise, I do see the next couple weeks for you being okay. Again, I'm not really too worried about Cancer. Just take care of yourself, allow yourself to rest and cry. Don't blame your problems on your current relationship partner or an ex. Know that all of your problems have a deeper psychological root to them, and you need to deal with that deeper psychological root. And don't get too attached to things being any certain way because things can change. Okay? All right, let's do Leo. Okay, so Leo, your card for the full moon, we have the Seven of Cups, okay? So I see this time being very distressing for Leo. Why? Because this is happening in Pisces. Now, Leo, I say this with all love, you guys have very big egos. You have very big egos. You like to be in control and in charge of your world. And this Pisces full moon is saying, release that. Pisces is where the ego dissolves, right? A Piscean person is very egoless, right? They're very, very egoless. So this can be very difficult for Leo because you may not have a clear picture of who you are and what your identity is and like where you stand in relationship to other people. So this is really going to be a time for Leo to make peace with the void. Make peace with the void. Make peace with not knowing. Make peace. Kill the ego. Kill the ego and just let life happen. Let life show you what it wants to show you at this point in time. Okay. There are certainly some things that you're really going to have to face reality about, but again, it's better for you to know these things than to not. Okay, because it's going to help you to grow. Okay. So if you know someone who's a Leo, you have a Leo in your life, know that these next couple of weeks might be a little challenging for them. They might have like a crisis. Okay. Yeah. But what I do feel is like kind of what I said to Aries, a fellow fire sign to you. It's like you're going through this and you're experiencing this because it's going to help you to be better with people. It's going to help you to be better with people. I feel like the fire signs struggle a little bit with people and relationships and being compassionate and understanding in relationships because they see their own perspective above all. They see like their side first. And I feel that this full moon is like asking you to not put yourself first, which is different. It's not a bad thing that you do what you do. It's just different, and that can be challenging. But you will be better when you are better. You'll be a better person when you have mastered that skill. Knight of Swords in your relationship. Again, I sense like Leos are chasing after something. Not in the way that I felt Gemini was. It feels like you're chasing after something in love. Like you may be pursuing someone in love. You could be in a dating relationship right now where you are more dominant, more masculine, more like pursuing this person. But I feel like you're not seeing this person clearly. You're not seeing the situation clearly. You could be trying to pursue someone and you're like taking on the action to get them. And it's like every action you take, it's like you're just missing them. Like you're just missing them. Like you think you have them figured out and then you don't. They pull away. You pull forward. It's like just know there's something you're not seeing in your relationships. There's something you're not seeing there. Let me pull one more card for Leo. Three of Cups. Yeah. This person may be in another relationship, or they may not want a relationship. They may be just looking for friends, just looking to have fun, and you could be like really going after them, and they're not seeing you the way you see them. You may want more than what they want. They could be married and you don't even know it. They could be in another relationship and you don't know it. So something to be careful about. I just feel the need to say that. Like you don't know everything about this person. You don't know everything about this situation. Okay. All right. We have it's time to take action. All right. So Leo action though. The thing is, Leo, you're normally like you go out, you do things, you get stuff done. I feel like by like asserting your own truth, your own values, and I feel like this is a time to get stuff done. It's not a time to do nothing, but it's a time to do things in a different way. It's a time to do things assuming that you don't know everything, right? Like assuming that your way is not the best way. Like I kind of feel like Leo needs to be a little bit collaborative. Leo needs to humble themselves. Leo has to not have so much pride and collaborate a little bit more to get stuff done because you can't see all of the angles right now. And that also could be why we're seeing the 3 of Cups here. Like you need to collaborate with other people. You may find as you take action, you get frustrated because things aren't working out the way you want. And it's not that you're doing the wrong thing. It's like you're doing the right thing in the wrong way. And the right way is with collaboration. Yeah. Yeah. So that's what I have for Leo. All right. So I hope that helped you guys. I hope we give you lots of clarity, lots of insight, and be sure to check out my website. I will be raising my prices in a couple of weeks. All right. So good time to get a reading with me. Okay. So take care, guys. Now we're doing Virgo. All right, Virgo. So your card for the full moon, we've got the 7 of Swords. Not surprised to see this, to be honest, considering everything we've talked about for the last, I don't know, hour or so. I definitely think this is a time for you to do your Virgo thing, to hermit away, to pull away, because there's things that you need to understand about what you do and why you do what you do. I feel strongly that Virgos have to reevaluate their boundaries at this time. Big time. Big time. Yeah. I feel like your boundaries have been crossed a lot. I feel like your boundaries have been crossed a lot. But I feel like you just hold it in. You hold it in. You keep holding it in. You keep holding it in. You keep holding it in. You don't say anything. But I feel like you need to say something because you're carrying too much weight. You're carrying way too much weight, and you not saying anything. You think by not saying anything that you're just like avoiding conflict or avoiding problem, but you're really just hurting yourself ultimately. Like you're really just hurting yourself. You're becoming bitter and jaded, and nobody knows because you keep doing the same thing. So nobody knows. So yeah, I feel like the first step is to evaluate why do you do what you do? Why are you doing that? There's a psychological reason why. There's a reason why you feel the need to overcompensate. There's a reason why you feel the need to do so much. Yeah. Something to think about. Something to think about. But one thing I want to say, Virgo, is like if you're having like issues, like health issues, stomach pains, something like with your stomach or whatever, those are trapped emotions. Like those are trapped emotions. And I feel like you need to let them out. You need to release them. Because holding them in is doing nothing but hurting you. All right, let's look at your relationship. 5 of Cups. Yeah, I feel like there's something that you're holding on to from the past heavily, 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 heavily. And this may be showing up in your body, like the pain, the trauma, the experience you went through. It's like literally showing up in your body in some way. Either that's in the form of like carrying extra weight or having some sort of health concern, some sort of health issue. Um, you may have issues with your balance. And that doesn't have to be like just like your walking balance. It could be like balance in your body chemistries, imbalances in your blood work, stuff like that. And what that's really stemmed from, what that really, really is coming from, is some sort of deep psychological like imbalance that you keep looking back on. You keep looking back at this thing like over and over again. Like, why did that happen? Why did that happen? Why did that happen? You know, you keep like thinking about it over and over and over and over and over again. And that is driving you crazy. Your body literally is like, no more. Like, we need to stop doing this. So, yeah, do know, Virgo, that any physical ailments that you're experiencing are very, very, very much a link to some psychological things going on. So this is a great time for you to really release past relationship trauma, past relationship trauma. I want to say even like sexual trauma, like releasing that has occurred to you. Okay. Your card is conclusions are within reach. Like, yeah, I really feel like it's time to let something go. Like, big time, big time, big time. It's really time to let something go, and it's really time to release something. Okay. So I'm going to speed up the readings here a little bit. I'm starting to get tired. All right, Libra. Nine of Pentacles. Okay, so I feel that, you know, for you, Libra, I feel like everything's pretty solid. Everything's going to be pretty stable for you. Yeah, I feel like for you, everything's pretty good. You're feeling pretty good about life and where you are right now. I'm feeling pretty content and pretty, yeah, just feeling content with where you are in life. I feel like you have done a lot of releasing and letting go, either like in the past few weeks, months, or years. So as this period of time comes up, I feel like you're pretty level. You're pretty stable. Love-wise, we have the Empress card. So, some of you guys could be preggers. Okay, this full moon could really be yeah, I feel the need to say that if you're trying to get pregnant, this is a good time. Okay. Some women ovulate near the full moon, so this could be a time of conception. You could feel ready to conceive. You could feel ready to have a child. You could feel, and if it's not like an actual baby, like you could feel ready to like create something, release something. But I just feel you during the next 2 weeks just feeling really content and really happy with where you're at with something, and feeling ready to release something, feeling ready to announce something, feeling ready to reveal something to the world or present the world with something that you've been thinking about for a long time. So that is very exciting energy. When it comes to love and relationships, again, you could be wanting to like create something with your partner, build something with your partner, or you may be looking for a partner who you can procreate with. We have what do you need to release? Like, I feel like you need to release something, but it's not like release in like the psychological way, as I've been talking to the other sides about. I feel like it's more of, I feel like there's something that you need to tell the world, or something that you need to get out there, something you need to create and release for all of us to experience. So best of luck, Libra. And I just realized I did not write down the timestamp for that. So, huh. I'm going to try like 150. All right. Scorpio. All right, so Scorpio, your card for the full moon, we have the Eight of Swords. Wowza. All right, so yeah, there's definitely some psychological stuff going on with you, which there typically is. Everything with you is happening at a really deep level. So yeah, this time for you is going to be, you're going to be in your head a lot. You're going to be thinking a lot. You're going to be trying to figure things out, trying to figure your emotions out, which I feel will be a little bit challenging just because I feel like things are going to be constantly shifting and moving for you. So just know that if your mind or your emotions feel really turbulent over the next couple of weeks, like that will all settle. I want you to know that any distress or discomfort that you feel, it will get better with time. But I do see the next couple of weeks being a little bit distressing for you psychologically. I feel like there might be something that you can't figure out, or there might be something that something you can't figure out, something you can't get to the bottom, so it's really going to bother you. But clarity is coming. Clarity is coming. The more that you just relax and stop thinking about it, the more that you'll understand whatever is coming up for you. Okay. We have Two of Coins in your love sector. So I feel like that's what the imbalance is. It's about relationships. And I feel like for you, it's like you're trying to figure out why certain people make you feel a certain way, or why certain people bring up certain emotions, and you know that it's deeper than the person, you know that it's deeper psychologically, but it's just making those connections. I think it's going to be a little bit difficult, like understanding, why did this person come into my life, why did I have this experience, and what does it say about me? The what it says about me part, I think, is going to be a little bit challenging. I feel like everyone that you come across in your love life, or even like relationships in general, you're like, why am I meeting this person? You know, that's going to drive you crazy. Because I feel like you may have more interaction or more communication with people than normal right now, and trying to figure out everyone's motive, everyone's intention, everyone's like purpose is stressful. I feel it being stressful for you. Yeah, I kind of feel you being like a little bit self-conscious, or wondering if people can see you, like if people can see that you're doing this. Yeah, I feel like you're trying to get to a point where you don't allow emotions to your deep emotions to rule you so much, but it's very difficult. It's very difficult for you to give up that grasp. Yeah, so I do see the next couple weeks maybe being a little bit more turbulent for you because because you have to remember Scorpio is a fixed water sign. So it's like you don't give things up easily. You don't just let go and release things as easy as your fellow water signs, Pisces and Cancer. You hold on to things way more because you want to understand things from a deep psychological perspective. But the thing about that, a deep psychological perspective, is that it's just a theory. It's just a theory. Like, because you're not going to ask someone, like, oh, how do you feel about me? You're not really gonna do that. You're gonna try and intuit it and figure it out yourself. And I feel like you're gonna have a hard time, especially with Mercury being retrograde in Libra, you're gonna have a hard time understanding where people are coming from, what their motives are, which normally is very easy for you. So just an FYI, just a heads up. Definitely not a good time for you to start a relationship. I'll tell you that. Not a good time to start a relationship because I feel like you're not going to be able to see things clearly. You're not going to be able to see people's intentions clearly at all. But then again, that could be a good thing because it's something that you think about it too much. And maybe you should just use your heart. So just throwing that out there as another perspective, but do know you will feel as if you don't have control. And that I think can be a little distressing for you because you like to be in control. Okay, so the card coming out for you is confidence is the key to your success. Okay. Yeah. As you feel out of control, because you can't change the retrograde, right? Like you can't do anything about it. You just have to be confident in what you do know, right? You may not be able to read other people, but you can read yourself, right? So you just have to be confident in yourself and what you know about yourself and what you know to be true. You kind of just have to rely on that for the next couple of weeks or even like the month ahead. All right. So I hope that helped. I hope that gave you a little bit of a heads up there, but I do see it being a little bit challenging for you. Not gonna lie. All right. So I am available for readings. Okay. Hit me up. Let's do Sagittarius. All right. Sagittarius. So your card. We have Ten of Cups. There's a really nice card to see for Sagittarius. I feel like you are starting to soften up a little bit when it comes to your emotions. Perhaps you've been doing some deep inner work, some deep healing work. And I feel like this full moon in Pisces for you, I see being very beautiful. I see being very beautiful for Sagittarius. I feel like you guys are it feels like opening your heart again. It feels like you've been through something and I feel like you have made sense of the situation and you kind of just feel like the only thing left to do is to let go. I see you not having a difficult time letting go. I feel like you maybe have already let go of something, but now is the time where you finally just like throw the trash out and take it out. But I see you very quickly thereafter really opening your heart up again and really not allowing yourself to be impacted by what you've gone through, which I feel like Sagittarius does. I feel like Sagittarius to me is a very fearless fire sign in the sense that I feel like you guys will try things. Sagittarius will try things over and over again. And even if they do fail, I feel like Sagittarius is the type of sign that will get back up and try again very easily. I feel like Sagittarius doesn't really get too much in their head about it, or get frustrated the way that like Aries and Leo would. I feel like you guys are more like, okay, I failed, whatever, I'll try again. Like, so I see that with you guys. I feel like you guys have been through something. You guys have experienced something and it did hurt you or break you or whatever. But you did your healing and you got back up and you're trying again. Like I don't see you guys being the type of sign to be down for long. Like you're not really the type to be down And I feel like that's actually paying off for you. It's actually very beneficial and allowing you to move forward in your life very successfully. So I really like that. We have the Strength card here. So yeah, I feel like what you're doing might be scary. This could be a new relationship. Some of you guys could be in a new relationship after, going through, one that didn't work out or something. And it's like, yeah, it's scary. Yeah, you could get hurt again. Like you're more aware of what the consequences are, but you're like, whatever. Like the only way for me to know if this works is just to try it. So I'm just going to try it. And I feel like it's really working out in your favor. So I see things in the love sector of your life going pretty well. I feel like you're overcoming your fears. So that's really good. And yeah, look at this. Your card is don't let the past hold you back. Like I feel like you're not letting the past hold you back. You're really given whatever this is, whether this is a job, a relationship, an opportunity that may have not worked out in the past, that may have failed in the past. I feel like you're giving it a good honest shot again, and you're not letting past failures prevent you from experiencing happiness in your world right now. So I really like that. Okay. So best of luck, Sag. And if you guys want a reading, check out my website. Okay. All right, Cat. All right, Cat. So your card, we've got the Empress card as your overall energy. So I feel for you, Capricorn, it's like something you've been working on very diligently that maybe hasn't been getting a lot of, you haven't had a lot of results yet. I feel like is starting to come to fruition. They're calling this, or they call this full moon, the harvest full moon, I believe. And I really do feel that for you. Like I haven't felt that for any of the other signs, but I feel it for you. It's like, I feel like you're really going to be able to reap the benefits of your hard work. Like, in whichever area of life that is. Like this could literally be work, which would make the most sense for you guys. It could literally be work. Like maybe you've been working really hard, showing up every day, doing the right thing, with no pat on the back, with no recognition. And all of a sudden, like you get a promotion, like out of nowhere, and you're making more money, or like you get a bonus or something, or just something good happens like out of nowhere, which I feel like you're due for. Like, I feel like you're due for. I feel like Capricorns have worked really hard at something, and it's like finally you're getting some sort of recognition or success, or yeah, like I just feel like the recognition you deserve. It doesn't necessarily have to be attached to something monetary. And even if it's not something monetary, I feel like you're going to be happy regardless, because you just want that validation. Because Capricorn is a type of sign that doesn't get a lot of validation. Saturn's like, do this because I told you to do it. Like Saturn is not a lovey-dovey, gushy type of sign. It's not the sign that's going to pat you on the back and say you did a good job. So even if there is no tangible rewards for what you do, it's like you're happy to get the recognition, to get the validation, and to know that you're on the right path. Because I feel like a lot of times Capricorns just have to know. They just have to have the confidence that they're doing the right thing. They just have to know, like, this is the plan, this is the pathway, this is the track, this is the trajectory. I just have to walk it. I just have to keep going with very, very, very little, very, very, very little confirmation. But it feels like you're getting some sort of confirmation that you're doing the right thing, that you're on the right path. And it feels really good. Okay. I also feel that Capricorn is showing up in the world over the next 2 weeks highly compassionate, highly, highly compassionate and highly just motherly is what I feel like. Because Capricorn is also a very feminine sign like Pisces. And I feel that that's perhaps where you're shining is in whatever you're doing. It's like you're doing it in a very compassionate, generous way. And people are really like recognizing that. Like they're recognizing the how much work and effort you put into being so caring, right? Like, because Capricorn does things very like methodically, and I feel like people are gonna like see your methodical nature and go, wow, like this is something that this person's really thinking about. They're really consciously doing this, and that's where I feel like you get recognition. And through that recognition, it may lead to more opportunities in the future. Okay, so that's what I'm feeling here, and you're gonna be able to reap the rewards of that. If not within the next 2 weeks, like very soon. Okay. Yeah. Nicole says she's been feeling highly compassionate. Yeah. Yeah. Because I feel like because Capricorn is the top of the chart, like Capricorns are going to be showing this compassion out in the world, especially out in the work world. So I do see something good happening there. Now we have the Judgment card when it comes to relationships. So damn. I feel like when it comes to the relationship part for Capricorns, it feels like I'm getting so much. Number one, what the first thing that came to mind when I pulled it, the first thing that I thought was because you're getting validation in your career, it's like you don't need validation from a partner. You don't need your partner to feel good about yourself. You don't need your partner to, though you want that, okay? You want your partner to be proud of you. You want your partner to like think you're good at your job or think you're good at what you do. Like you want that from them, but you don't need that. That was the first thing I got. But the other thing I'm getting from this card, it's like I feel like you're making a very black and white decision about a specific relationship. Like you're saying that person, that relationship is a no. Is a no. I feel like you're closing the door on either a specific person or a type of person. Like you could be saying, I will no longer date anyone who doesn't have XYZ or who is XYZ. Like I feel like you're being very, very, very black and white, and you have a reason for this. It's not like you're just like, man, I don't want to date this type of guy anymore. It's not that superficial. it's like, I feel like you are, yeah, it's like you're saying, okay, I want a type of man that does this because this is what I know I deserve at a deep, in a deep soul level. Like I know I'm a healer, and so I need someone that respects the fact that I'm a healer. Or this is my career. I'm a doctor, and the person that I'm with, they need to understand that they're not my top priority. My patients are my top priority. Like it feels like you're being very black and white about what you're going to accept from someone and what you're not. Like, and it's a non-negotiable for you. And you making this very like black and white decision is actually healing you, because you're looking back maybe at past partners and going, that's why it would never work with this person. That's why that person couldn't be in my life. Maybe I wanted them at the time, but now I'm seeing in hindsight that that would never work because this person does not align with this value that I have now. And so you're able to just like turn a switch and like never think about that person again because they're not an option, right? Maybe they were an option at a different time in your life. Maybe you would have considered that person at a different time, but now you're like, no, I don't want that type of relationship, or would never want to connect myself with that. Or I don't see myself being with someone that does this. Like, like you could be saying like, I don't want to date someone that smokes, or I don't want to date someone that has kids, or, you could be saying something like that eliminates a lot of choices from your love life and makes it very clear the type of person that you need. And so you could be very laser focused on what works. And anyone that doesn't fit that strict criteria is not even an option anymore. So I feel like by you doing that, I feel like by you being very clear about what you want, it helps you to understand your love life to like the highest level, that like you understand it more than you've ever understood it before. Like you've never understood it before. Because yeah, maybe you're gaining something now that you didn't have before. So you're like, I don't need someone that does that. I could do that by myself. Maybe you didn't know you could do something by yourself. Right? Maybe you show yourself you could achieve something, you're like, damn, I don't need anyone to help me with that either. So dang, that's something I don't need help with. Okay, well I can eliminate everyone that I was using that for. You know what I mean? Not using, but you know what I mean. Like I could eliminate, like I said in I can't remember which reading I did recently, but it's like I just lost my train of thought. It'll come back to me, but like I said that in a recent reading. Like you may, like, yeah, I said that in a recent reading where it's like you maybe have been planning on being with someone and thinking like, okay, they would handle this and I would handle this, because Capricorn likes that. Capricorn likes like roles in a relationship. Like the woman does this, the man does this. And maybe you were thinking like, okay, like I have someone, they do this and I do this. And you're like, well, wait a minute, if I could do this, and what do I need this person for again? So I kind of feel like it's something like that you're reconsidering, that you're rethinking, right? Mercury is in Libra. So you're rethinking your relationships, rethinking what you need in a partnership, what you want in a partnership. So I feel like in the next couple of weeks, you're going to be rethinking something about your relationship that's going to completely change the type of partner that you want in your life. You're not even going to consider certain people anymore because they're just not going to be it. And then the card for you is show the world the real you, which really ties into this because I think Capricorn, more than a lot of other signs, just by nature, likes to follow the rules. Capricorn likes to follow the rules. We feel safe with rules. Like, even if the rule is stupid, we're still going to follow it because respect. You know, we respect authority, we respect rules, we respect the order of things. And not that I feel that you're not respecting the rules, I feel that you're just being more of yourself. Like, if a rule doesn't make sense to you, you're like, okay, wait a minute, let me think about that again and see, does that align with my soul? Like, does this align with my soul? Do I really believe in this? Really? Right? Or you could be showing yourself more like at work. Like, maybe you could be more serious at work. Maybe now you're being more loving, more caring. People are seeing a different side of you. They're like, wow, I didn't know this person had that side of them, right? But it's more of who you really are, right? Maybe you just act that way because you're the boss or you're the manager. So you just act a certain way, right? But now you're like, no, you know, a boss or a manager can be nice, can be friendly, can be compassionate, can be loving. A boss doesn't have to be rigid and stern and all of that. So it's like you're kind of bringing some sort of new energy to something that you're doing, but it's more in line with your soul, or like a relationship. That's a big area where I feel like you could really be being more of yourself. Like, you could be saying, you know, I want to be this type of person in a relationship. I want to be, or I'm not going to hide myself from, you know, people I'm dating. Like, I'm going to be myself. And if they don't like me for being myself, then they ain't it, right? Why waste my time? Why act all sweet if I'm not? You know, why put on a front? Just be myself from the beginning. And if it doesn't work out, it doesn't work out. Good to know, right? It's better to know that something doesn't work than to like kind of see, let's just see, wait, what happens. It's like, if someone doesn't agree with you on something that's really important to you, then they ain't it, right? Because the person that's for you is going to be all for you. Okay. But that becomes more clear when you are more clear about what it is you want and who you are. All right. That's what I have for Capricorns. I hope that helped. If you guys want a reading, check me out. Okay. All right. Aqua, Aquarius. All right. Aquarius. Oof. 10 of Wands. Holy crap, you guys. Wow. It feels like you guys are really tangled and you're really enmeshed in something. Like, you're really enmeshed in something. You're really in the thick of something. And I feel like it's going to take you some time to really untangle yourself from this. Let me get one more card to see if I can get more clarity on that. Chariot, something with the home, something with the family. Okay. You could really be enmeshed in like your family dynamics, your family like problems or something, or that could be a really big part of like why you are the way you are. Because Aquarius is kind of like Capricorn in that sense, because we're ruled by the same planet. Like, Aquarius could be very loyal, and Aquarius can be very fixed on things, and you could be very like loyal and fixated on your family, but your family may not be the best people for you. Your family may not understand you. Your family may not like really get who you are. They've just always been there, right? They've just always been there. Or this could be your friends too. You could be really tied up in some sort of friendship dynamic that you know is not good for you, that you know is toxic, that you know doesn't work for you, but you keep staying because it's hard for you to break away. But I feel like it's time. Like, it's time to really, it's time. And I think that's going to be a little challenging for you, but I think that the full moon energy is going to help you to understand something. It's going to help you to change something psychologically. That's going to go, okay, these are not the type of people I want to be around. So kind of like what I said for Capricorn, like, you could say, I don't want to be around people who stay up till 2 a.m. and drink. Like, I just don't want to be around that type of person. right? So you change that value in your mind. And therefore, you naturally no longer want to be around the toxic people around you. You just naturally disassociate yourself with them, which I feel you guys can do well. And that helps you to free yourself from that scenario and let that go. And you don't even look back because again, you don't want to associate yourself with those people. So it helps you to just make that mental switch so you don't really even feel any type of way about that, right? Like you're like, that's just not my people. Boom, done. And you let it go. Just like that. I feel like you let it go just like that. Could be fam, but what I'm more feeling Aquarius is family. It's family. Excuse me. Like I said, you could be really enmeshed. Like maybe you're kind of stuck helping your family. Like you're stuck being like the caregiver or um the one your family all depends on, and you feel like you can't go on and live your life because your family is so dependent on you, or you know that they would be disappointed or sad. Like there's something that you want to do in your life and you're not doing it because of your family. And again, it's like you have to make a mental shift in your brain that says, okay, I don't want to be involved with this anymore because it's toxic for me, or it's not in alignment with me, or it's not what my soul wants. And you kind of have to just say, okay, maybe family isn't everything. Maybe family are not the best people. Maybe family is not it. Whereas your mindset up until this point was family is everything, family is this, family is love, and blah blah blah. Maybe you're kind of having to go, maybe not. So it's like a psychological switch you have to make in order to make the change. But once you make it, I feel like it's done. Let's look at love tower. Yeah. Okay, so with that being said, right? We pick our relationship partners based upon what we've learned about relationships from our past. So you maybe were in a relationship or you used to choose relationship partners based upon maybe some toxic or unhealthy dynamics that you observed as a child. And so as you switch your family dynamics, it also switches your relationship dynamics. So there could be a relationship that you're in, romantic or friendship or business, that now that you've made this family switch, it changes the whole relationship, right? Because maybe you were looking for something in this person that you didn't have, or that, you're trying to recreate a relationship that you had with a parent with this person. But now that you switched your mind about your parent, then now this person is no longer attractive to you. So it's kind of like now this relationship is on its way out because you've changed as a person. So something to be aware of, something that definitely can come up for you, definitely can happen over the next 2 weeks. Okay. But your card is your hard work is paying off. So it feels like you've been doing a lot of spiritual growth, a lot of healing work, self-development, and it's paying off. It's getting you somewhere. It's hard, but it's getting you somewhere. You're growing. And when you're growing, you're going to lose people. When you're growing, not everyone's going to make it with you on your growth development. So congratulations. Okay. And I didn't write the timestamp for Aquarius, so that's good. Actually, I wonder if I can get it from the timestamp from the comment. Let me see. It's okay. I'll do it later. All right. Anyhow, Aquarius, hope that helped. And finally, last but not least, Pisces, my beautiful Pisces. All right, let's get yours in there. And let's write down your timestamp. All right, Pisces. your card for the full moon. We got the Sun of Pentacles. So there's that Virgo energy popping up for you that we talked about at the beginning of the reading, because Virgo is very much so connected to this full moon. I feel like what you're learning, Pisces, is dreams can become reality with time when you follow a process. That your dreams don't have to just be dreams. Your dreams can be real. Your dreams can manifest in the world, but it's not going to be as fun or exciting or as quick as dreaming about it. And that's okay. That's okay. I feel like you're getting illumination or clarity about something in your life that maybe you thought was better, something that you thought, there could be something in your life that you thought was handled and good and all straightened out, and then you find out like it's not. Um, and instead of like freaking out, I think you're just like, okay, all right, that is what it is. Let me just try and figure this out, right? Whether you're figuring this out on your own or with the help of someone, um, doesn't matter. But I feel like you're understanding, like, okay, like the card says, balance spirituality and practicality. You don't have to give up being a dreamer. You don't have to give up, fantasizing and all of that. You don't have to give that up, but you do just need to bring in a little bit of practicality, right? I think Pisces business owners that I know, they can either be so successful. Pisces can be really successful in sales, like sales, ideas, creativity. Oh my God, Pisces can be great with that. Where they fail is like the mundane, like the paying the bills, the staying on top of things, the legalities, all of that. And it's like, you can still be the creative in whatever you're doing in your business, in your family, in your career, in your relationship. You can still be that person, but then you have to have something that tethers you down, right? And I feel like you're learning that, like, okay, I want to do this big crazy thing, but I need to just be more realistic about how it's actually going to manifest, the time frame of how it's going to manifest, or like how I need to interact with it. You guys could be really finding a different way to interact with the real world in a way that works for you, in a way that doesn't feel suffocating or mundane and boring and tiring. So that can be really good, and that can actually really help with your productivity. So I feel that for you guys. What else do I feel for Pisces? Yeah, not immediately. I don't think this is going to happen like instantly, but I think that over the next couple of weeks, I think you guys will start to develop kind of a plan or a routine for getting what you want. It may be something you kind of just think about and dream about for now for a little bit, but I think, in the next few weeks, maybe like a month or so, I feel like you guys will be really, you'll find a good rhythm, find a good pace. And I think that what you're releasing and letting go at this time, at this full moon, is just, I don't even know if it's like a necessary releasing for you guys, or just an understanding that you guys are getting that dreams take time to manifest. Dreams take time to manifest. Having what you want takes time to manifest, but it will happen, right? It will happen, but you have to take action. It's not just going to manifest because you want it to manifest. It's not just going to manifest because you see it in your head. That's like 50% of it. Then you have to take action. So that's what I think you guys are going to be learning at this time, is that you really have to put the work in behind your dreams. You can't just like manifest and think about it and like make a vision board and think like everything's just going to happen. You then have to follow that up with some sort of action. Okay. Four of Wands in your relationships. Yeah. I see you having some healing in your relationships for being more practical. Like, I don't think Pisces is the oldest sign, it's the wisest sign, but I think some people can sometimes see you as like crazy. And I feel like people are going to be really happy to see you being more practical. They're like, oh my God, Pisces is finally like getting a filing cabinet and putting papers away. Like, oh my God, so amazing. Like, people are going to be like amazed to see you doing like mundane things. Like, oh my God, did Pisces just pay a bill? Did Pisces just put a load of laundry in the washer? Like, especially if you're like married or you're like in a partnership or you cohabitate with your person, I feel like they're going to be so happy to see you doing more mundane things and not being like dragged down by it. Because Pisces can sometimes feel a little bit like, oh my God, this sucks to do this. Like, they just want to like be in their own world and do their own thing and not care about realities and the responsibilities of the world. But like, I feel like people around you are going to be really happy to see you like doing things that are normal, but like, boring stuff. All right. Which could really improve your relationships, your romantic relationships, your business partnership. But I feel like also like friends and family members as well will be really happy. So your card, we have adjustments are required. So yeah, I definitely think that there are certain things that you can do, like everyone at this time, where that will improve your life, that will better your life. And I feel like you will be better for having done them. Hold on. Thought I heard something. But yeah, you'll be better for having done them. So there's no rush. There's no rush. There's no need to do anything instantly. I think you'll just be getting clarity and understanding what you need to do, and people will really appreciate you. Will really appreciate you doing these things. Yeah, they'll really appreciate you doing these things. So that's that. That's what I have for you. That's what I have for everyone. So I hope that this reading has helped you guys. I hope it's given you lots of clarity and lots of insight and lots of guidance. And like I've been saying, I am going to be raising my prices after Mercury retrograde. So this is a wonderful time to get a reading with me now. So yeah, happy full moon, guys. Take care of yourselves. Be well, be patient, be calm, restful, generous, compassionate to everyone. And I'll see you guys in the next video. Bye.